While we pay to keep our politicians fighting, how do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, it is so good to be here. Yes, it's correct. You are right. It's Larry Sharp. I am here on A Free Solution, usually on the Sharp Way. You can check out my show there most evenings at 7 p.m. But today I'm with you, WYSL, Rochester, New York. And if you want to talk to me, you can. 585-346-3000. How lucky are you? Or maybe, how lucky am I? Well, I want you to do me a small favor. I ask something of you almost every show. I'm going to do it again. You know me by now. I want you to imagine, if you would, you're deciding if you can go or if you will go to a comedy show. In this case, you find out there's a comedy show coming to a new club in your area. And it's got a bunch of comedians. One big show, maybe 10 or 12 comedians. And you like a lot of them. Like, you know, a bunch of these comedians, you like them tremendously. You already know it. You've seen their shows, maybe on TV or online or some streaming service. You like them. But it's expensive. It's about $150 per ticket. It's a lot of money. But you say, you know what? I think I want to go. And I'm going to take my significant other. It's going to be a great night. I love these comedians. I don't do this often. I'm going to drop $300 and have an amazing night with someone I care about. You decide that. Good for you. So you pack up, get your car, drive to the new club. $150 each, $300. You got to pay for parking, though. You don't mind. It's $5 for parking. You pay for the $5. You already dropped 300. Fine. What's $5? You don't care. Maybe if it's $10, you're fine. You don't care. It's fine. You do it. You go into the club. It's a multiple hour show, many hours, and you love it. It is an amazing night. You really enjoyed it. You laughed. You spent time with someone you love, saw comedians you adore, and you say to yourself, yeah, it was $300, but man, this was a night to remember. I'm okay with it. I'm okay that I dropped $300 because it was a night for me to remember. All good. There was one minor thing. One of the comics you didn't really like that much. You didn't hate him, so you decided to get up and go to the bathroom during that comic. No one else did, but you did. You're like, I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom during this comic because this is the one out of the 12 that if I miss a little bit, what are you going to do? So you do it. So you remember that one comic. You leave, significant other with you, go to get your car, and the guy, the parking lot attendant, says, yeah, see, we got a small issue. And a small issue is that one comic, you didn't really laugh at that comic. You didn't laugh at all. And we try to make a good environment for everybody. You didn't laugh at all. So if you want your car back, you got to pay an extra $10. Sorry. If you don't pay the $10, you don't get your car. And you go, what? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, when you bought the tickets online, there was fine print that said, if you don't laugh at every comic, there's a $10 fine. So it was there. Clearly you didn't see it, but that was there. You signed the yes, you bought the tickets. You got to pay $10 now, or you don't get your car. You're angry. Of course you are. How would you feel about that? Now, you pay your $10 because you want your car, so you don't have much of a choice. You got to get home. So you pay the $10, and now you're driving home. How do you feel? How do you feel about the whole night now? Now you're really pissed off. You're really mad. 10 minutes ago, you were loving life. It was a great night. And you dropped $300 and you were like, yeah, totally worth it. And you dropped $5 extra for parking. You were fine with it. Great night. But now you got to pay the extra 10 and you are mad. In fact, it ruins the night. The question is, will you go back to that club? You know you're not. You're mad. We're going to tell your friends about it. You can tell your friends about the amazing night that you had. You dropped $300, but oh my God, so worth it. Or you're going to call your friends and tell them how they stole $10 from you. That's what you're going to do. And maybe you're special and you won't do that because you are super cool and super enlightened and you're only going to talk about the good and you won't talk about the bad. Maybe that's who you are. But let's say you are. What about the other dozens of people who the same thing happened to? They're not going to be like that. And why would I bring up that story? Why would you care about that story? Because I live in New York City, and that kind of thing does happen. People come into the city and drop hundreds of dollars on a show or a baseball game or a basketball game or a play or whatever the case may be. Massive nights of museums and dinners. That's what makes this city go. That's what moves people in this city. There are amazing shows and amazing experiences that people would love to spend hundreds of dollars on and say, totally worth it. Oh my God, totally worth it. But what New York City's decided to do is to all of a sudden add 2,000 speed cameras that will now be on our streets in New York City 24/7. The story I just told you is going to happen now hundreds of times. People are going to drive into the city trying to see something that they think is amazing, whatever that thing is. They're going to get a ticket for $50 after they already dropped hundreds to come into the city, because you don't come into the city and have an experience if you're not going to spend hundreds of dollars. That's not how this city works, right? If you come into the city to enjoy, you're dropping hundreds of dollars. Now, you're going to get a ticket for 50. What if you hit 2 or 3 cameras as you're driving around? Now you're getting $150, $100. How are you going to feel about New York City? You going to come back? No, you're not. So at a time when New York City, the entire state is struggling, New York City in particular, struggling to get people to come back into the city. One of the reasons why we're losing so much money. Our amazingly intelligent mayor didn't think, you know what I should do? I got violence in my subways. I got high taxation. You know what I should do? Why don't I make it easier for people to come to my city? So maybe they'd want to come, spend their money, take advantage of the good things we have in the city, which are the shows, the culture, the entertainment that is amazing in the city. So let them come and enjoy it. No, not doing that. No, I'm going to punish people. I'm going to suck money out of them. And I know what some of you are going to tell me. Larry, you're wrong. This is about safety. This is about safety. That's what it's about. Stop. All right. Let me ask you. If you care about safety around school zones and you think you don't want cars to go quickly, what do we usually do? We put in speed bumps. Speed bumps work, right? Well, Larry, I had to learn a lesson. Well, let someone smash their car up on a speed bump once. Lesson learned, right? People see speed bumps. They're bright and yellow. People see them. People watch the guy in front of them go up. They slow down. Speed bumps actually work. They're actually cheaper to put in and have less maintenance than cameras, but they don't generate revenue. This speed camera that we have now, the speed cameras, 2,000 of them across the city, they're not for safety. That's another lie. This is another money grab. Punishing people who can't afford to be punished. Keeping people out of the city who should be coming in. Making people who come in and have a good time not want to come back. This is nothing but bad, short term, and we're doing it anyway. Because we keep doing it. This is our mindset. Short term money grab. I talk about it constantly. Let's stop using law enforcement as a profit center. If you care about safety, I do, then put in speed bumps by all the school zones. Just do that. People will stop speeding through school zones. That's a fact. We know this to be true. The data is in. You don't have to have speed cameras. Bumps do it. Slow people down. Kids don't get killed. Awesome. Let's do that. Now, cameras. Because cameras do several things. Not only do they generate revenue, but they make more jobs for cronies. That now I can take a budget and give it to my friend who runs a camera organization that installs cameras. Yeah. So I get to grift on top of it. Money grab from the citizens, grift from my friends, short-term goal, and more punishment for my city. They might say, wait a minute, Larry. I don't live in New York City. Why do I care? Because people from outside of New York State come into New York City and spend money. And that tax revenue pays for New York City stuff. So you don't have to. Yeah. You should care. It's crazy. And it's not how government should work. I speak about it constantly. I would ask you, who else does? They don't. It's only me. It's Larry Sharp here. WYSL Radio, Rochester, New York, on a free solution. I will be back with your calls and the chat after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure.
Hey, we got Craig on the line.
Business IT needs are.
You're welcome. Hey, by the way, you know what irks me? Now, granted, I prefer locally family-operated amusement parks like Seabreeze in Rochester where there's free parking. It kills me that like Six Flags, Cedar Fair parks, the corporate-owned parks charge you like $25 to park.
Yes.
Like you have another option.
Hey, this is Kevin Wilson, host of a
Now, granted, if you get a season pass, you get free parking. But, if you take a family of four and you're already buying 4 passes, it's like, it irks me, these money grabs.
Starts at just $25 a year. Use it for home projects or to support your business. Learn more and become a member at seektoolshed.org. That's SEAC toolshed.org.
Need to take care of
exactly, yeah. And actually, I've had friends who have found if they're traveling and they're hitting up like a corporate-owned theme park, it's cheaper for them to take an Uber to and from the hotel to there. They're not paying the gas, wear and tear on the car, and there's the parking. So, I guess in a way that's created some more business for Uber, but.
For the Love of God dentistry event.
And they drop you off right at like close to the gate too.
A free solution on the WYSL stations.
It is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York. So happy that you have given me a couple minutes of your day. 585-346-3000. Before the break, I was talking about money grabs, talking about how New York City should be trying to encourage you to come, spend some money, enjoy the entertainment, how people from outside the state should be coming to New York City to enjoy. That's what they should be doing. And we're doing the opposite. A short-term money grab. That tends to be our way. I want to grab a call if I can. This is Craig from Clinton. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Larry?
What's going on?
Oh, I guess I'm just happy that I don't live down in New York City where I'm always getting surveilled and always getting charged for everything. And then the people have the audacity to stand in front of a camera and act like it's a great thing.
Yes.
Like they're doing you a favor. 6 people just got shot in the subway. Some guy got smeared with feces. Somebody else was throwing on the tracks. But I'm out here in the streets doing God's work, fining people for driving around.
Well, it's funny that you say that. There's a comment that I got in the chat. And the question is, what are your thoughts regarding Hochul's chances to be reelected? And while all these bad things are happening that we talk about, she's still popular. The recent poll that came out, reported by Fox News, obviously not a left-leaning outlet, reports that she's winning by 15 points over the Republican already. And in the cities, she has a 50-point lead. And among women, she has a 25-point lead. So, yeah, they get on TV and say all these things, and New Yorkers keep voting for them. Now, you might say, wait a minute, Larry, why would you say that? Aren't you running? Yes. And I'm the only hope. I'm the only hope. Because I'm the one that the people who would vote for Hochul might vote for me. They're not voting for the Republican. It's clear. The polls are in. It's obvious. Of all the money grabs that are happening this year, one of the biggest one is the Republican running for governor. That's the biggest money grab. Taking all the money and doing nothing and saying nothing. And just going, I'm not Kathy Hochul. I got it. It's true. But none of us are. That's not impressive. That's not a high bar. Am I wrong, Craig?
No, and
we have another
there's a lot of
caller
things
on
that
hold.
I could rant about. But first of all, I don't know how many times people have to watch her give money to her friends.
Dominic
every
from
single
Queens.
day. And I don't know why more people aren't upset about that. She said, hey, she gave this guy, well, there was no contract for the DOH, but one of her friends made $300 million on COVID tests. And then she told you, I'm going to send your kids back to school, and I'm going to make them COVID tests this fall. COVID test. Hey, guess who's selling the COVID test? My
Absolutely.
Buddy. Why aren't people enraged about this? Also, didn't she have a lawsuit against her about masking the kids? She said, I reserve the right to mask your kids still. We're ignoring that. Why do we put up with this stuff? And I think you touched something with the woman thing. I might trigger people. I'm a cisgendered white male, so I'm at the top of the heap, right? I couldn't possibly understand what it's like. So, okay, we got that out of the way. My question is, why aren't you ashamed as a woman that we've had all of these leaders, quote unquote? Hillary Clinton, we should be proud of her. Kamala Harris, we should be proud of her. Kathy Hochul, I would be embarrassed if you actually went on merits. You would have a woman that you would be proud of running for governor or for vice president. But since it's just to check the box, these are disgusting people to be carrying your banner. That's my opinion.
No, you're not going to hear me fight and say that Kathy Hochul is, great for as a leader. I don't care if she's a woman or not. I don't care. She's a terrible governor. So, but she's a woman. Great. Terrible governor. But she's not a male. Got it. Agreed. And a terrible governor. All good. Doesn't matter to me whatsoever. Craig, I agree with you completely. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
So I think he has a valid point, right? We're seeing that people should not be voting for the same people. But here's the problem. Democrats across the state hate Republicans. So it doesn't matter, right? Bill Maher said this months ago, He was talking about Democrats, though. He was talking to the Democrats, and they were saying, hey, why do these crazy Republicans not vote Democrat? We're better for them. Obviously, they're all Democrats. And he said, because they hate you. The Republicans hate you. They're not going to vote for you. They don't care if you're right or wrong. Well, the reverse is also true. Democrats hate Republicans. That's where we are now. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard to create a third party? Why do you think Andrew Yang is fighting hard to have a third party? We see the same thing. The left-right paradigm is killing us. We've got to be able to have a conversation. Speaking of conversations, I'm going to grab another call. It's Dominic from Queens. Dominic, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Good to talk to you, Larry. Yeah, just the other day, stupid fees and everything. I didn't realize this one. I had to get my license, New York license, renewed.
Yeah.
And that's, you mail it in, whatever, but you need a vision test. Oh, crap. So I got to go, find a vision test or go to the DMV. Long story short, I ended up in Troy, New York, working, but I live in Queens.
Ouch.
So I had a little bit of a, time up there. I hit the DMV in town and they charge, okay, it's $65 for the vision test fine. And then he looks at my address and says, oh, wait, you live in Queens. That's $81.
Wow.
So I have to pay a sick. Now, Queens is great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But for the life of me, asked him, why is there a $16 surcharge for living, is it New York City? And that's just like, no, it's basically just Queens County. I don't know.
Yeah. Because let me smack you in the face because I can.
Yeah, statewide. There's no reason for this.
Yes, so. Absolutely. The nickel and diming drives me crazy because what people always tell you is, hey, we pay taxes so that we can have infrastructure and we can have government services. That's what I hear all the time. If that's true, why do I keep having to pay for government services then?
I pay for coffee. I don't pay taxes.
That's true. They take the taxes.
Right.
That's true.
That money, nomenclature needs to stop.
Yeah, that's true. So that's what I was saying. If I could control taxation, right, and we had to still have taxes. First off, all my policies try to reduce taxation. But if I had to control taxes, I would literally make it so the government cannot take your taxes, that you must write a check to the government every year. I want you to see it. I want you to see what you're writing and say to yourself, is it worth it? And if you feel it's worth it, good for you. Your government's working well for you. I hope everyone feels that. But you and I both know, Dominic, most people are not going to feel that.
Yes. Well, I think a lot of business owners, they tend to be more libertarian because they have to do that.
Yes.
Wage earning jobs, it just gets deducted and you don't really see it. But when you have to put the pen in the check, it brings it home. It
does, 100%. Dominic, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Larry.
Have a good one. I'm with Dominic. I live in Queens too. There's a lot of advantages to Queens. And this is why you see me as a libertarian versus liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, because I don't want people to live, although across the state, to live like we do in Queens. If you want to live like we do in Queens, come move to Queens. Happy to have you. But if you don't, that's good too. You should live the way you want to live. Be policed the way you want to be policed. Be taxed the way you want to be taxed. That's what I would like. So you do you, I'll do me. We'll all be happy. This is the way. It is the only way to keep our nation together, to keep our state together, to keep our communities together, to keep our families together. You do you, I'll do me. And when things get tough, we'll support each other. And when someone outside decides to say, no, you're going to do what I say, we get together and go, no, we do what we want. We will stop you. I don't want to do what he's doing, but I don't want him to force me to do what he's doing either. As long as we're doing our own thing, life is good. This is what our nation was built on. We've lost this. And now our government has become overbearing, punishing us all day, taking our taxes, right? As Dominic says, not even asking us to pay, just taking them. And sadly, as Craig said, we're just taking it too. I don't want us to. Am I right? Let me know. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, WYSL, a free solution in Rochester, New York. Back with your chat and your calls after the break.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the Newsnet NBC forecast on WYSL. For tonight, a cool, comfortable, and pleasant night, low of 60 under mainly clear sky. Going into Wednesday, the heat does return. We'll see a high temperature of 90 degrees in the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, though, throughout the day. Going into Wednesday night, looks like an isolated shower will be possible, otherwise partly cloudy. Humidity begins to increase with a low temperature of 73. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Alex Bielfeld on your WYSL station.
With energy costs on the way up, you want to keep cool and comfortable inside, and the sizzling heat and humidity outside. When you keep air-conditioned air inside, you'll keep more of your money in your wallet. Chamberlain Construction reminds you, even if your home is relatively new, insulation technology has advanced rapidly, no matter whether your home or other building is recent or historic. Consult with Chamberlain about an insulation upgrade to save on energy. And whatever your need, they can handle it. Commercial or residential, roofing, siding, kitchens, baths, decks, porches, remodeling, bump outs, garages, with the best in materials and workmanship, over 30 years of reliable, ethical experience anywhere in the region. Now's the perfect time to get your important project underway. Call Chamberlain Construction Dansville, 370-5959, 370-5959. Contact Lee Chamberlain at lee@chamberlainconstruction.com. That's Chamber, L-I-N.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Because your future is worth it. MGM Associates Insurance, proudly serving the region since 1984. MGM can meet your coverage needs, ranging from home, condo, and auto, all the way to specialized policies for business, workers' comp, to limo and taxi insurance, and coverage for tech professionals like IT specialists. They can also help lead you through the confusing maze in the new world of health insurance coverage and options. MGM Associates is large enough to serve you, but small enough to care, so you don't have to wait in line on some 800 number to get prompt personal attention. MGM Associates is the only winner of the National Best Practices Award 5 times in a row. MGM is proud to support veterans groups including Heroes Home Advantage. For your personal, business, home, or professional insurance needs, meet the professionals at MGM Associates Insurance, locally and proudly owned at 1745 Penfield Road in Penfield, 381-7008. Or mgminsure.com, an associate of Ontario Insurance Company, 28 Canandaigua Street in Shortsville.
Why choose GCC? College close to home and an affordable SUNY degree that's transferable too. A career that will take you anywhere. GCC offers 60+ academic programs, including the new Solar Tech program. On-campus housing is available. Registration is now open. Apply for free online at genesee.edu/apply. Choose GCC. Your time is now.
An experienced professional with more than 15 years in dentistry, Dr. David Olivo welcomes new patients to his family practice at 2005 Lyle Avenue. At the office of Dr. Olivo, you'll discover a warm and comforting environment staffed by professionals who are committed to providing the best available dental care while assuring your complete comfort. Call 328-3382 for an appointment. Dr. David Olivo, offering quality dentistry with a gentle touch.
It's the world-famous Glenn Miller Orchestra, coming to the National Warplane Museum in Geneseo, New York, Friday, August 5th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit nationalwarplanemuseum.com.
Once prosperous and beautiful Rochester is now a moonscape of crime and illegal guns. Note the connection. No criminal has a legal firearm. That's why they're called criminals. Point this out to lawmakers. Learn more. Visit MonroeCountyScope.com.
A free solution on the WYSL stations.
Yes, it is Larry Sharp. I am back. WYSL, Rochester, New York. Yes, usually I'm on the Sharp Way, but right now I'm on the free solution. And here's the best part. If you like this show, you can actually watch or listen 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 1 p.m. I'm on. The amazing Tim O'Connor is here. Kevin Wilson's here. Come on now. Nothing but good stuff. This is a great place. So follow us on either Facebook and or YouTube and enjoy. I'm going to grab a couple of comments. I have a lot of people popping up in the chat, and thank you so much for those of you who are watching online and going in the chat. I do appreciate that. Absolutely. So they're asking about, am I going to be in the ballot? How did my court date go? Well, some of you may or may not know this. The Conservative Party and the Republican Party are suing to throw me off the ballot. Yes, the Conservative Party, and the Republican Party are suing to throw me off the ballot. And we had a court date last Monday. And the crazy part is there's been no decision. It's over a week. Generally speaking, that is a good sign. But I don't know. The past 4 or 5 times we've sued, yes, we've sued 4 or 5 times before to get on the ballot. We've lost. This one maybe is different. This one I spoke at, by the way. I represented myself. I know, nuts, but I did. I represented myself so that I could speak to the judge myself. And we did on Monday, last Monday, not yesterday. And I hope I gave the judge enough things to think about to where he will rule in our favor. If he does, I'm on the ballot. If he doesn't, I'll sue again. That's it. I won't stop. If I have to do a write-in campaign, I will. You will be able to vote for me in November. Why? This is going to sound crazy. Everyone else has quit. Everyone else who's tried to run has quit. The system was made to make sure there's only 2 people, Republicans, Democrats, that's it. In which case, in this state, just Democrats, just the establishment Democrats, that's it. You would think that the others would let me on board. By the way, I've gone to both Republicans and Conservative Party, both of them, and said, why don't you just endorse me? I'll run on all 3 lines. I'll run them all. I'll win this thing. Instead of putting $10 million into another losing campaign, put it into me, and I'll win this thing, and we'll actually change New York State. They don't care. They know they're going to lose, and they still do it, and they still sue. The Conservative Party, for you conservatives, the Conservative Party decided to not go with a conservative candidate twice in a row. They didn't go with DiStefano last time, and they didn't go with Astorino this time. They didn't go with me last time. They didn't go with me this time. They both just copied the Republican Party. Why? Because your Conservative Party in this state doesn't care either. And they fool you conservatives into saying, hey, vote for the Republican on a conservative line because that'll teach the Republicans. Teaches them nothing. You're rewarding their bad behavior. Stop it. The Conservative Party in this state is doing nothing except backing Republicans and taking your money. That's it. I offered for me to help, to take, to be on part of the line. Anything. Nope. Not you, Larry. Not you. Because you actually care. So when everyone else quit, I keep fighting. Why? Because I actually care. I know. It sounds stupid. It sounds like I'm a romantic idiot. And maybe I am. I mean, I am clearly an optimist. Guilty as charged. I am. But if we don't fix this, we're in trouble. I'm a third-party candidate that conservatives like and that Democrats like and that Andrew Yang has personally endorsed. The Forward Party has endorsed me. Yes, a left-leaning party has endorsed me. Why? Because they know I'm the only shot at change in this state. And I know that sounds like it's full of hubris, but I would ask you, who else is fighting besides me? Nobody. 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 It's just me. So I'm still fighting. I'm not done. They will try to get rid of me. It will not work. I am a Marine, and I will fight until I no longer have the means to resist, which means I'll stop fighting when they put me in the box. Until that, I keep fighting. I love this state. It is a great state. It's our government that's broken, and the establishment doesn't help. Now, am I mad at the average Democrat or the average conservative voter or the average Republican voter? No. They do what they think is best. Who am I upset at? The establishment. The establishment Republicans, the establishment conservatives who don't care about you or the state, who only care about taking your money and power. Why? If they actually cared, why wouldn't they back me? Why wouldn't they? Why would they throw me off the ballot? My entire goal has been and still is, and openly, I'm an open book, to create a coalition against the establishment Democrats so that we can have more freedom in this state and that people can be who they want to be in this state, to bring this state back to a place to where people want to be here, want to move here, want to retire here. Anyone else saying that? No. I'm the one they're against. But I haven't quit yet. So hopefully we will have a good announcement coming up here this week. I'll be on the ballot. If not, I'm back in court again. I'm not stopping. And for those who don't know, I have to work for a living, but I'm not working. I'm doing this. I'm taking my time, my money, and my energy to do this because it matters that much to me. The other two people who are running, Kathy Hochul and the Republican, they're both currently serving in the government. You are paying for them to run. That's how the system works. The current system says you only get to run for office if you're already establishment. If you're not, you get no chance. That's how it works. So I'm sorry I was a bit preachy, but I hope I answered your question. We will find out, hopefully. I'll be on the ballot. And if I'm on the ballot, I'll be on the debate stage. When I'm on the debate stage, I will devastate the other two and win this thing like Jesse Ventura did in the 90s. There we go. Done deal. That's how this works. I hope that was clear, guys. Let me grab a couple more of these comments if I could. All righty. James talks about monkeypox. Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you brought us up, James. So to be clear, we're trying to bring people back to New York. We're trying to bring people back to New York City to generate revenue, right? People come from outside of New York State and spend their money here. I want them to. There are some beautiful places all across New York State, and New York City has some amazing things you can't see anyplace else. I want people to come. So what are we going to do? Scare them away with the monkeypox emergency. Didn't we learn a lesson already? The violence that is across this state is embarrassing. Heavily in New York City, obviously, but across the entire state. Attacks against law enforcement up 50%. And when did it start? 2020, when we had the emergencies, lockdowns for COVID. So let's see. These 2 years of lockdown crushed our youth, increased our violence, increased drug overdose, increased all our problems. What should we do? I know. Let's do it again for monkeypox, because why not? It's almost as if they don't care. What? Yeah, they don't care. It's what I've been telling you. How can I, to Craig's point, how can I get more people to give out the monkeypox vaccine or monkeypox testing kits or whatever the thing is? How do I give this stuff out to my friends and my cronies? That's what we're doing. Your point, James, is on point. Yet again, this is not the right answer. So, yes. Mike says, government is desperately broke. Yes, they've said this already, right? The checks coming from Uncle Joe aren't going to keep coming. At one point, Uncle Joe stops writing checks. He's been writing massive checks for billions of dollars to this state. Well, if I got Uncle Joe writing me checks for billions, let's spend. I get it. But what happens when that goes away? We're in trouble. And what some of you don't get, some of you who are pensioners, the pension bubble that I spoke about 5 years ago, and I said 5 years ago, we had about 15 years. There's 10 left. I think maybe less now because of the lockdowns. But I predicted 15 years 5 years ago. Why? Because the percentage of our budget that pays and supplements the pension plan is going up. And our budget's going up. That means it's going up even higher. At one point, it's unsustainable. You might go, but Larry, we have to get a pension. It's in the Constitution. When there's no money, you don't get paid. What's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to say, if you don't live in New York State, your pension's cut in half. That's the first step. So they're going to force you to stay in New York State and retire here, or you lose half your pension. And you're going to say, well, Larry, that's against the rules, against the law. They'll just change the rules. I know. They did it for me when I got ballot access. I got ballot access. The party was real. They just changed the rules. They'll change them again. You live in Florida now, or you're planning on retiring in Arizona? Yeah, cut your pension in half because they can't afford it. It'll first be cut in half, then eliminated. Then they'll cut New York State's in half. Then they'll eliminate it. I was the one talking about taking the next 5 years to negotiate pensions into the market so that everyone can get made whole. No one else talks about that. I do, because I want you to have your pension. I just want you to spend it in New York State. I want you to give the money back into the system. That's what I want. And I'm the crazy one. I'm the nutty one. I don't know. Mike, thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. Larry Sharp, WYSL, Rochester, New York, a free solution, 585-346-3000. Back with your calls and the chat after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182.
Okay, we got Mike from Chicago on the line. You're welcome.
Hey, this is Kevin Wilson, host of A Free Solution. You ever need a tool for just one project, but didn't want to spend the cash for something you'd use just once or twice? Well, there's a new tool library in Rochester where you can borrow just the thing you need instead of buying a new one. It's called the Tool Shed from the Southeast Area Coalition, and membership starts at just $25 a year. Use it for home projects or to support your business. Learn more and become a member at seektoolshed.org. That's SEAC toolshed.org.
Need to take care of a dental issue but don't have dental insurance? There's a special blessing for you on Saturday, August 13th called For the Love of God Dentistry. You can get an extraction, a tooth filled, or get a full dental cleaning for free. Be one of the first 150 guests at Grease Family Dentistry, and your choice of a filling, extraction, or cleaning is free. Registration starts at 8 a.m., so be there early and we'll give you a great reason to smile at the For the Love of God Dentistry event. Go to greasefamilydentistry.com for more information.
A free solution on the WYSL stations.
It is Larry Sharp back here, WYSL, Rochester, New York, a free solution. So happy that you give me a chunk of your afternoon to chat with you. You have been calling in and chatting so much. I appreciate it. We've been talking about New York State and how to actually make it better and make it the great state that it should be. And the only thing stopping it right now is an overbearing government that literally breaks up families. Horrible. I'm gonna grab a call if I could. It is Mike from Chi-Town, Chicago. How are you, Mike?
Good, good. What's up, Larry? Calling from the good old Windy City.
Love it. What's going on, my friend?
Well, hey, yeah, I've been loving you. Following you on all these online and everything. Loved, Joe Rogan, everyone. I've been watching you, man. You're really, you're setting a good example.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
All this talk about being in the city and the hustle and the shakedowns that occur.
Mm-hmm.
It just reminds me, I've been dating recently and going down into the city and meeting some girls, and I've gotten so many damn parking tickets for just
yes.
opportunities, man. It's a shakedown.
Yes.
And it is absolutely turning me off of visiting the city. And I'm just like, at this point, it's almost a principle. It's just like, I'm not going to go spend money down there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the point, right? The point is, if they were to tell you in advance, here's what it's going to cost you, and you can meet women here by paying X dollars, whatever it is, at least you'd be upfront about it. They're like, okay, you can make a decision. Does it make sense? Is it valuable enough or not? But when they smack you, it just feels so much worse. It makes you not want to go into the city.
Right. And they stack it on every time. They get their opportunity, they get their opening, and they just, oh, well, yeah, you parked 5 minutes over, but what if we look up his license and maybe we can, maybe he's got a little, what is it? I didn't have a license plate on the front of my car because somebody backed into me.
Yep.
And so for 3 weeks it was like that. And there's a $60 ticket.
Yep. New York City is doing it to where they call it obscured license plates, which means if you have anything around the license plate, that's an extra $50. They do the same thing here in New York City. Same thing. Anything extra, slap it on top. 100%.
It just drives me crazy. And just the parking and everything. I like the Six Flags. The guy met talking about Six Flags and Cedar Point and everything. Yeah, I grew up going there, and you're absolutely right. And then the hustle on the inside. $20 for a stupid, snow cone.
Yep. Absolutely. Everywhere. I see.
Yeah.
Mike, I appreciate the talk about Chicago and New York City. We do share a lot.
Yes, indeed. No, thank you, brother. It's awesome. I'm going to keep following and sharing and spreading the word. Libertarians all the way.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So, yes, I think Mike's right. It's all the cities. Illinois has a lot of similar problems that New York does. They're almost like opposite, right? They have a large city in the north, and then their downstate is much more rural. We have the opposite, a much more urban downstate and much more rural upstate. But the concepts are very similar. They have similar issues that we have, right? And same idea. Does Chicago control everything? It shouldn't. If you want to live in Chicago, live in Chicago. All good. I had a girlfriend there years ago. I used to drive over there all the time. Not from New York. But anyway, I wasn't living there. I was living in New York at the time. Anyway, I completely agree. Let people be people. That's the point that I keep making. I continue to make that point. And why is libertarianism so valuable? Because even if you think I'm not as liberal as you might want me to be, or I'm not as conservative as you might want me to be, the one thing I hope you see in everything I've done for the past 5 years is show you that I respect you, and I respect your choices, and I respect your way of life. If you are more liberal than I am, I respect you. If you are more conservative than I am, I respect you and the choices that you make. The others don't. If you're a hardcore conservative running for office right now, all the liberals are evil and bad. If you're a hardcore liberal running, all the conservatives are evil and bad. No, some of them are. Some of both sides are, particularly leadership. However, the individual person, respect is key. This is what we need in leadership right now. Logic Rex says in the chat, hey, Larry, I've seen some argue that speed bumps wouldn't be cost effective, that New York City would need to install too many for speed bumps to be viable. What will be your rebuttal at that point? Once you put in a speed bump, whatever that is, if you put in a speed bump every other block or so, wouldn't people still see it and begin to slow down? In the traffic, you wouldn't have to put that many speed bumps down, because when someone up front slows down, everyone else has to slow down. Not just that. All it is asphalt. We already have teams and crews on hand in New York City. I have to hire no one extra. But when I have to have people install cameras, I'm hiring outside vendors, aren't I? Yeah, not true. Not just that. What's the maintenance on a speed bump? Relatively nothing. What's the maintenance on a camera? A whole lot. So whoever's telling you that, it's not true. There's no way that's true. No extra vendors, no extra maintenance, no repair, no electricity. How in the world are cameras better than some bumps? And if you have a bunch of speed bumps, even if you don't have others, people will begin to see them and go, oh yeah, there's probably a speed bump coming. I should slow down. Speed bumps work just as well. All right, let me grab some more if I could. Let's see here. Gregory says the problem is there are too many poor, ignorant people in New York who allow themselves to be duped by socialist views. You know, Gregory, I'm not sure I want to go there. I think most people are not dumb at all. I mean, I'm sure there are some. People are people. But I think most people are just trying to do what they think is right. And it's hard. It's very difficult with so much going on, with so many things happening in this world. Wow. So I'm not mad at them. I'm much more angry at the leadership that is purposefully trying to change their mind, purposely trying to hurt them. So yeah. Gregory goes on and says, not all speed bumps are asphalt. Some are made from rubber compound, just as effective. There we go. Thank you. Even less. 100%. So absolutely true. Yes. Valerie says, it amazes me how you, Larry, pull people on this show from across the country. I'm trying, Valerie, I'm trying. Absolutely. That's the point. I'm trying to bring people together, right? Why in the world would I be doing this if I'm just going to yell, other guy bad? That's what everyone else is doing already. I'm going to copy them. No, it's different. I really want to make a change here. I'm really trying to make an adjustment. So that's the issue. And says, you would crush them in debate. Yes. And there's a reason why. And it's a very simple reason why. Because I know I have the moral high ground. Why? Because I'm super moral? No. I'm a human being like anybody else. Because I know I'm not trying to fit a narrative. I'm not trying to just have Democrats or Republicans or conservatives or progressives win. I'm trying to give everybody what they're trying to achieve. Freedom and nonviolence is what I talk about constantly. Therefore, I have the moral high ground. Really. That's it. 100%. Mike says,
1 minute.
Ain't got time to bleed. Yes, the Jesse Ventura quote from the movie Predator. Thank you, Mike. I hope I can be that guy because Jesse Ventura was an independent governor. So absolutely. I hope that's true. 100%. Look, the reality of it is I'm here for change. You hear me. I say what I feel. I've been saying it forever. I'm an open book. I do all of these shows, all of my events with no notes. I just talk live. Why? If I do that, then I know you're getting the honesty. That's what I want. That's what I want. Guys, thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all very soon.